Map number 2 of the semi-finals of Go for SC2 Monday, and spawning down in the bottom left hand position as the purple Terran player representing ESC, it is GoOdy. And his opponent up to the top right, the red Terran player representing Alien Invasion, it's Revenge. This is map number 2, game number 1. Of course, going to Revenge with some absolutely awesome play. He did things absolutely amazing. Basically, he was constantly aggressive, always poking, always prodding, always trying to get some drops down and really exploit the fact that a meching Terran wouldn't ever get a good trade down. Or at least a good defense due to being immobile. Map number 2 is Revenge going to go for that same strategy. Going for a much more focused build in that bio tank composition, but very drop and harassment heavy. Or is he going to try and play GoOdy at his own game, in the sitting back and just macroing up and trying to play it late, maybe even going mech himself? Well, for the moment, things looking really similar to map number 1's opening, as we see Revenge sit there and go for that gas first into the racks. This allows him to get down a very early factory, and he'll probably go Banshee again, as we saw in the previous game. Meanwhile, over at GoOdy's side, he's sitting there going racks into gas. Could be for Reapers, it's certainly possible. The rally point is set only to his front ramp though, so not all the way across. Not going to be looking to try and do too much there. Is getting a marine out too, so it could just be another factory, but later, as we saw last game. There's Revenge though, instantly starting up that factory, and GoOdy able to get the scout out on it because of this scouting SCV. So a good bit of information there for GoOdy. Meanwhile, Revenge just doing everything that he wants to do. He's not getting thrown off his normal track. He's not getting disrupted in any way. Instead, he's just chilling, having a good time. Updating a caster who joined us for the second semi-final. Of course, I don't know how the other semi-final went on. It was Stardust versus G2. The winner of this will be playing the winner of that, and if the brackets ever update for me, it was Stardust who advanced forward there. So whoever wins this will be playing Stardust in a TVP. Second gas now being taken by Revenge as the star pool comes down. Again, suggesting that we should be getting that Cloak Banshee play we saw in game number 1. GoOdy defended that Cloak Banshee play absolutely perfectly though in the first map. Did an amazing job baiting the Banshee into a Widow Mine, and even when it was Cloak, scanned as it flew over the Widow Mine just by positioning some Marines and a Viking to take it out. Really swishly done. Quick switch over, and it looks like, as expected, the Banshees are going to be incoming. We've got Cloak on its way down the factory. If it plays the same way as last game, should also power some more add-ons. Widow Mine yet again out though for GoOdy. What I'm really interested to see is whether or not we see Revenge able to contain GoOdy on one base for as long as he did in the first map. Because as far as I'm concerned, that was one of the critical moments of map 1 that really allowed it to work so effectively overall. Because GoOdy just didn't have the economy for so long to stuck on one base. It really would be disastrous to try and make that work. First Banshee for Revenge, now making its way out onto the field. On his way across, going to be trying to get some more damage done. Will be interesting to see what he's able to achieve with this. Of course, map 1 didn't do very much with it at all. But that was because GoOdy just had some beautiful play with the Widow Mine. There was another Widow Mine position, ready, waiting. But if you recall, this has already killed one scouting SCV, so Revenge should be somewhat aware that it's on its way across. Cloak is nearly done. 8 seconds away from completion. And in terms of defense, GoOdy has a good number of Marines and that Viking, plus plenty of energy banked up. And that's very nice control by GoOdy, just being completely aware of when the timing of this Cloak Banshee could be coming, so he's got a Cloak Breaker ready in that scan. Tank now out on the field. If we look over at Revenge's side, he's getting the advantage in the expansion. Quite a big one. GoOdy actually got the CC down earlier than Revenge in map 1, but in map number 2, GoOdy just opting to be a little bit safer and instead pumps a few more units. May actually try the trick the Revenge went for, which is that small contain, but Revenge playing a lot more bold. Putting a tank down on the low ground, building his command center down on the low ground. And also the map, Yonsu, not as good as Daedalus in order to actually get that siege up, because the natural base isn't as large, so the positioning of the tank would be a lot harder to achieve. Revenge though, moving forward, he's got 2 tanks there at the moment, a few more marines coming in by 2. Still pumping out a good number of units. Stim coming out. Was for a second considering combat shield, but that's more likely to be a misclick. Although there are some builds that involve a very fast combat shield. Revenge is now going to be completely aware this is coming. Has already sieged up some units. Going to try and take out some of those Vikings. Wanted to get the Raven, but there's too much defense there. A reposition could come through. Remember, there's this second entrance up into the natural, forcing Revenge to get back ASAP. Can he get into a good position in time? The tank sieging up as best they can. Going to start chipping away. Seeker missile is good. Those marines need to back out from that tank. The tank won't fall, of course, from one Seeker missile. Few units from the back. GG from GoOdy as is crushed in that push. And Revenge advances 2-0 to face off against Stardust in the best of 5 finals.